Rahubat. Greetings. Welcome in when y'all get in. There's another talk session. If y'all have questions, let them out. If you just want to say something, let it out. Let's talk. Alright. That's fine. Let's chat. Let's talk. Here's suit I might do a little reading. I might do one. I'm not really sure if I want to do one. Publicly, I guess is the correct term anymore. Yeah, right. Welcome in. But eventually, we'll get back into the whole flow of everything. We're just taking a detour for now on things. But yeah, any questions, anything at all that you might have need an answer to or whatever, I'll do my best to answer. If I can't answer it, I'll send you the way to get the answer. Regardless, I like having these little chats. That's something for you to figure out for your spiritual name. I can't tell you. I personally don't even know who you are, so I can't even tell you what your actual name is. Struggling to meditate. You don't always have to close your eyes to meditate. Work with understanding who you are. If you're having troubles meditating, really sit down and you don't even have to sit down. You can get up. You could be exercising or doing something, but it's just silencing the mind. It's not paying attention to the thoughts and paying attention to how you feel, delving inside. You don't have to close your eyes to do those things. But definitely do work on that. And seeing 6 or 9 during Gangstalker shenanigans. What does that mean? What do you mean by Gangstalking shenanigans? Because those numbers, it depends. So, what's the gang stalking happening? What do you mean by gang stalking? Of course, anytime. But yeah, I need to know, pestilence activities. Messing with your peace. Yeah, but what's going on? Because anything can really do those things. If you're being gang stalked, what are they actually, you know what I mean? If people are just watching your page and you're disturbed about them watching your page, that's one thing. But if you're actively being stalked in person, where they're following you around and things, that's a whole other ordeal. You know what I mean? Everyone's technically being gang stalked online, and with 6 and 9, it could either be telling you to connect to yourself, or that something needs to end, or you need to separate yourself from something. It's in real life. It's probably a call of action. For 6, 6 would be to devise a plan. And for 9 would be to either execute or that's some sort of test. Either way, if you are being gang stalked in real life, the best thing you can do is contact the authorities. Don't go bizarre like that one person did. Just tell them you're being gang stalked, because you can get protection for that stuff. A lot of people tend to believe that it's gonna be some imagined unseen force that's gonna protect them when it comes to gang stalking, when it's really just you needing to take some form of action. And a lot of people who gang stalk, at least nowadays, they don't even do it to really harm anyone. They just do it to distract your peace. So not paying attention to them would do wonders as well. But yeah, definitely take steps. If it is real life gang stalking, just do your best to ignore them, because a lot of people just do shit like that to get attention. A lot of people who are being gang stalked, they don't really have anything on the physical happening. It's all just an emotional disturbance. Unless you're having some actual physical disturbance where they're disturbing your house or whatever, it's not necessarily something to worry about, and you'll get a really blank response from people. I got you, no worries. I don't know. That's up for you to decide. If you can't tell, you should probably get checked out. Because if you can't tell what gender I am, that's a you problem. That's all on you. That's not had nothing to do with me. I'm just here. If you're confused about it, child, maybe you need to get checked out. And why does it matter? You trying to be sexual or something? You trying to like, be weird or something, dog? Get a grip. How much are the readings? Email me about it. I got you. I think in every country there's two genders. You know what I mean? But I mean, whatever you want to say. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing wonderful. Hopefully, you're doing well too. How to avoid going into outer darkness? What do you mean by outer darkness? Going back where? We need to be more specific with these things. Hmm. Remember that the flesh isn't who you are. A lot of people will be very blank faced and attribute beauty to the outside when that's not it at all. If someone doesn't like and especially, well, I'm going to say this for external, then we'll go to internal. But for the people that are like, let's say you're being made fun of for like just how you're looking now, it's not necessarily them making fun. Well, there is them making fun of you, but you have to take it in the sense of like they don't know who you are, and if they're gonna go off of something of a physical appearance, then that's just their fault. That shows how shallow they are. They're not even able to actually overstand anything in actuality because they're so delved inside. They can't even see anything outside of them except for like their own reflection. And a lot of people make fun of other people because they're unfortunately sacks of shit and they don't like their life, so they're trying to put the energy on other people. That sucks for them. But for if it's a you thing where you're not able to enjoy your life and enjoy things because of how you look, remember that you're more than your flesh. Remember that there's more to you than this bacteria that's just on our bones. Pay more attention to the activities that bring you joy. Don't let the outside ruin what you're bringing into the world. Don't let other people's opinions or other people's ways of being actually stop you from living your dreams, because a lot of times in life that's what happens to people. They'll go, oh, I can't do this because I'm this or I'm that or I look like this or I sound like that or whatever, and that prevents them from actually living the dream that they're wanting to. uh, yeah, I still don't know what outer darkness is. Yeah, definitely what divine is to live in the moment, because like a lot of people will try and drag you out of the moment because they want to have a certain form of like not even that, they just want to have a center of attention energy because they're haven't realized that they're living their own life and they're trying to use external things to gratify things for them. Yeah, any more questions? We got some like horny ass people up here tonight. I'm just gonna be real. Why are like we got some horny ass people up in the chat today? Like, child, this is not Pornhub. This is YouTube. Like, go somewhere. How am I doing? I'm doing wonderful. I really am. Yeah, they horn dogs up with this check. What's your question? What's your question? Man, my mom used to call them horny toads all the time. That's what we got up in this chat today. Always, always. I enjoy asking. I enjoy answering questions that if I can or not. Unfortunately, I don't know much about the outer darkness. I'm not really sure what you're referring to with that. So I'm gonna have to do my own due diligence and look into that on my part. Do I know anything about Saturn? I know a few things about Saturn. I know a few things. Not too much about Saturn, but I know a few things. My thoughts on the Bible? It's a book. I don't know. I don't really have thoughts on the Bible. It's just there. I use it for guidelines. I use it for prophecies. I use it for learning about what's going on. Other than that, it's just it's just a book. Someone wrote it. It talks a lot. It talks a lot about the human evolution, how we came to be, and what's going on. But not a lot of people know how to decipher it like that. Oh, you're talking about triple darkness. That's where God is. Okay, you talk. Okay, I get. I know what you're saying now. The outer darkness is triple darkness. That's inside. That's where God is, because God's in the dark. Because God literally said, "Let there be light," and then light appeared. He was in the outer darkness. If it's going to be said like that, but it's triple darkness and it's inside. It's not really out. It's in. But the light came out. The dark was already there. You know what I mean? Well, you're welcome, my Rosie. Thank you. Thank you for coming in and saying for saying thank you. You think planets are portals? Uh, honestly, no. Not really. I mean, people who are far from enlightenment kind of end up here until they remember about enlightenment. If we're gonna get down to it. But yeah, outer darkness is just triple darkness, and that's inside. That's where God is, because the darkness was first, and then light had to appear. Exactly. Like don't beat yourself up for being. Don't make yourself feel like you should be going somewhere quicker or slower. Like don't beat yourself about that. Everyone's learning. Everyone's doing something. It's whatever. We all got to get somewhere somehow. The only mistake is not learning from a mistake. That is true. That's the only thing you can do wrong in life is not learn from a mistake. Because if you keep doing it over and over, it's just gonna keep hitting you. It's gonna drag you down heavy. Always. Thank you for saying I look healthy. I've been doing my best to stay healthy. I've been doing a lot of different changes and stuff, so I'm happy that's shining out like that. Me personally, I don't know if it was originally Anubis because I wasn't there, but I have heard and seen people talk about it being Anubis. But I've even seen the rendition of the photo of it having the Anubis mask and then being knocked off. Um, but me personally, I don't know too much about that. I have to do more research on that. But I know what you're talking about. I have seen it. Well, thank you. I'm glad. I'm trying to think about something to talk about. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things I could yap on about, but I haven't like. Yeah, people are strange. Let me tell you. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know why. If it's like because I look like I'm soft, because I just got that soft skin, or what? Because people just come in here and say some whack ass shit all the time. They don't like what? Like, come on. I mean, it depends on what AI you're talking about, because there's different types of AI. The AI that we have access to is not very smart. It just searches the online. It just searches what's online. You know. I mean, I wouldn't pay attention to creepers. It just, you know, if it's gonna bring in people, maybe there's a few of them up in here that's just listening, and you know, something's gonna click in their head. You never know. You know, the light attracts all, and sometimes we attract the ones that just ain't got a filter yet. We gotta make them. We gotta help them get that filter. I ain't gonna do much to help them get that filter because that's all on them. But you know, we be here looking at them weird. That's about it. Yeah, everyone's here learning a lesson. We just gotta let it fly and slide. It's whatever. Damn, what could we talk about? Stoner vibes, huh? The Page of Wands. I got you. Let me pull it out real quick. Let me pull it out real quick. I got you. Wherever it's at. There you are. Wow, you're the first. You're the first time I've had to search for a card, and it's been right there. On marijuana, I don't care. I don't really have a preference on it, but I don't partake in that stuff, so I don't really have an opinion on it. I don't care if people do it or not, but it you know if you're gonna do it, at least have like a purpose and a reason for it, so you're not just doing it to do it. You know what I mean? But the Page of Wands, as you see, the dude has a bunch of salamanders on it. The Page of Wands is really a card of the of taking the first steps to an adventure. The way the suits work is Queen is first, and the Queen is the divine, the invisible, the God factor in it. Then you go to the Page, which is the first step, the actual first planning of it, the Knight, which is the action, and then the King, which is the actual reward of it. So the Page of Wands is really just taking action on an idea, because the wands are based off ideas which you're faced with. The divine gives you and faces you with ideas, like the idea of me streaming and then you clicking on it. You had the choice of either clicking on it or not clicking on it. With the Page of Wands, if that came out with this whole scenario, right? You chose to come here, so you made the choice with the Page of Wands and the upright to come towards. You looked at the idea, you took advantage of it, and now you're in this Knight of Pentacles energy where you're sitting in it, and you're, I mean, not Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, where you're sitting here involving yourself with the idea. You know what I mean? You're putting action into it, which is why they're on the horse, and horses, a horsepower, which white horses, I believe the white horses is divine power. Well, divine. No, it's the Sphinx. Excuse me. The horse is, if it's a white horse, it is the masculine. It's actually taking action. If it's a black horse, which is why the black horse is on the Knight of Pentacles, it's the feminine aspect. So it's receiving. The reason why on I think it's the page of I mean the Knight of Wands is a white horse, I believe. Let me go find it real quick. But anytime you see a white horse, that's the masculine action of taking act. It's, you know, making it light. You're seeing it. You're actually moving forward with it. Sphinxes are divine horsepower. Yeah, the Knight of Cups is white. The Knight of Pentacles is a black horse. Where is the Knight of Wands? It's a brown horse. I don't know what the brown horse is. But I guess it's just taking action. I don't know. I don't really know what a brown horse is in tarot. I'll have to go look that up. But horses is horsepower. It's extra force. I got you. I'm still working. I don't know. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to finish that thing, but I work on it every now and again. Or the whole explaining what the cards are and stuff. It takes me a while, but like I don't think I should just go in depth as it is at first. I need to find a way to have it to where I can update it, and the people that have the thing will also get the updates too. I need to find like a whole new system really for that whole thing, because I could just have it out and then update it like along the time. Yeah, thanks. We changing things up a bit with the hoodies and stuff. I've been meaning to get new clothes for a fat minute, and I said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna start getting white clothes." I have like, I don't have all of them on me right now, but I have like fabric markers because I want to start just making my own shit. Like I'm just tired of it. How do you protect your energy in the 5D? Define what you mean by the 5D, like the fifth dimension of what? Because my whole thing with the other dimensions is like they exist, but within what form? So you kind of have to ask yourself like, because it's all consciousness at the end of the day. It's all like how deep you're in within yourself. So what would the 5D mean for you, and how would you need to protect yourself from that? You know what I mean? End of days of new earth. New earth. The word like the whole thing with the world ending, people want to go the world's gonna end and we're all gonna die. That's not it. The world as we know it's gonna change. That doesn't mean we're all gonna explode and die, but the world as we know it is definitely gonna change. That is prophesied to be around 2030. If you look up the Seven Thunders prophecy, you'll find out all about that. We're on the I think we're on the sixth or fifth. No, we're on the sixth thunder. We're definitely on the sixth thunder, or we've been upcoming on it. But 2030 is the big year that the Earth as we know it is going to change. A lot of galactical contracts are ending at that time. I think there's a peace treaty. I forgot between who. I have to do my research and let y'all know later. But there is the galactical peace treaty that's ending within 2030, um, allowing more trafficking to go back and forth. I might do a little video on the Seven Thunders. There's a lot of people that's already talked about it, but if I might as well just talk about it too. You know, and sleep schedule. Uh, yeah, I don't have one, but I could definitely make one for sure. You can go to Pinterest and find a bunch of sigils there for things of that nature if you need as well. Um, but yeah, but if you are looking for sigils, I got you. Email me. They're not that expensive, honestly, because I don't need them to be. They don't even need to be that expensive, honestly. There's sigils. Oh, I showed you to you one time. I have to go look. I have to go look. Did I send it to you on email or was it on the community tab? Because if it was an email, email me back and I'll resend it to you. I got you. No, okay, shit. I remember it was in a reading. It was in one of the readings I did. Yeah, I remember now. I remember. Yeah, yeah. Email me so I can get it and I'll send it to you though. So I actually like can send it to you because I don't have it on deck with me right now. But I got you. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Just email me. And I'll get that sigil back to you because I don't remember your email. I gotta keep it real. Mm-hmm. The day. Oh, thank you, Mark. Goodness. Welcome in, Mark. But yeah, don't worry. Especially like if your days are getting shorter. It's Matthew 24:22. If you're having like issues with time, I forgot what verse it is in the Quran, so excuse me. But for the Bible, we'll just go to Matthew 24:25, and it will talk a lot about what's going on if your days are getting shorter, if you're having trouble, like, keeping track of time and things of that nature. When they're going to start spiritually attacking you, a lot of spiritual attacks come from the inside out. So it takes you to really remove yourself from those energies. Because a lot of times when we feel like we're under spiritual attack from someone else, it's really us being overstimulated or overindulgent in the other activity. Apart from that, staying away from media, from a lot of media, honestly, switching up what you're watching, what you're listening to, switching the vibrations around you will switch up who and what can come into your energy that way. But with the laws of Saturn and how it works and how we're governed under Saturn, if we you'll be tested on it. So like even though you're split away from it, it's gonna come back. It's the same thing of like quitting a smoking addiction, regardless if it's like cigarettes or whatever. You'll quit it, but then you'll get the urge. Oh, what if I go do that? Same thing with having a diet. You're on your diet, but then you're like, oh, I want to eat this though. It's that same energy of always being tested. So don't allow the test to draw you back into the old energy just because it's familiar. Keep walking down the unknown path because that's what's going to set you free. Salt and lemon juice for sleep protection is the way to go. You put it under your bed. You can put it on your nightstand. You can either just put salt underneath your pillow. You can put garlic cloves, 3 of them underneath your pillow as well. Things of that nature. You can do all sorts of stuff. How powerful is salt? Super powerful. It because it's a bunch of crystal. It's the same as sand. Because you're messing with microcrystals. Salt is super powerful. It's just a bunch of crystals. Like look up salt mines and all these things, like Himalayan salt, all these things. They're literally crystals that we're using, and it's clear, it's purified, it's technically white as we perceive it, depending on what you're getting. And it's funny. Hold on. I don't know. I don't know why they selling this. I found this at the store. Where is it at? Oh my gosh, it's right here. I found this at the store. They're selling black salt. They're selling black salt at the store. And if y'all know what black salt is, I know what black salt is, dude. Oh my god. They're selling that in stores now. Black salt's crazy. But salt is just a bunch of crystals. It is, you can charge with it. You can use it for manifestations. You can use it for protection. You can use it for banishing. You can use it for amplification. However, it's literally just a crystal. Thank you for the donation. Goodness gracious. Thank you. Blacks, yeah, because they got eggs in it. It has crushed up egg cells in it. That's why it stinks. And eggs are a whole other thing. Eggs can bless you. Eggs can curse you. Eggs can steal energy from you. It's all sorts of shit. You gotta be careful with eggs. But if you're using eggs and black salt, that shit's for protection. Well, it can be used for anything really. Does salt stop aerial viewing? Not to. I can't answer that question. I'll have to study and look that up for you. But I'm pretty sure it can. You'd have to add some other things, probably like basil or rosemary, but other than that, salt can't protect you from that. You would just have to put the intention in. Some of this stuff I just know. Some of this stuff I was just born with. Some of it was because when I was younger, I looked into all this stuff anyway. So I've been kind of like in the loop for a while, but some of it just kind of grows on me. Other times I'm just led to see certain things. I follow a bunch of things. Like the whole thing is like I follow like hoodoo pages and stuff for just to know what's going on for protection stuff and all these things. So it's not even just me knowing some things. I'm actually out there in groups and talking to people that also know these things, and like because I know I'm not going to use it for any sort of negative reason, and they know that I'm not, and I know they're not doing it for a negative reason. It's a lot of close conversations where you get to know a lot more about these things. So not being afraid of it. What does the Bible say about it? What it salt or what? If you're not wanting to go to a funeral, you don't have to. Um, if you're afraid of going somewhere because of ramped up emotions, you don't have to go. But you also have to check yourself on the question: is it because you think that you're gonna be the emotional one, or because someone else is gonna be an emotional thing towards you? So you kind of have to sit back and ask yourself that question. If it's you and you know that you're gonna be the one that's gonna act in a certain way, I would definitely back up and not go. But if it's your fear of someone else going, I mean, someone else, being emotional on you and saying some things of that nature, you can go, but just make sure that you stay stable in what you're doing. Have that respect for the dead. You know what I mean? Regardless if you're just wanting to go because it's your cousin's funeral, you can do things on, at your house. You can talk to your cousin from your own place or however in your own safety, in your own facility. I mean, and just have your own funeral like in that sense. About crystals, I don't know. I truly don't know about that question, about what it says about salt crystals and minerals. I have to go look in that for you. Cause I mean, I study this. I have it like every day. I'm like looking shit up in this, like every day. And even though I'm not religious, cause I don't have, you don't have to be Christian to praise God or praise a God. So I spend a lot of time just looking through it, studying Bible verses, getting down to the deeps of it. So I have to like reread the whole thing at some point again. But yeah, attention is definitely everything. Word, okay. 2030. I got you. I'll write that down. I will get on that cuz whenever I do this stuff, I do a whole bunch of stuff. Can I Are you not going to let me write? Come on. Damn, I lost it. Uh what do you use black salt for? Protection, banishing, things of that nature. If you're wanting to step up your protection from salt, you use black salt. It has eggs, it has charcoal, um, other things. I mean, I don't even know, like, it's just funny because the ingredients is just black salt. So I can't tell you what this black salt has in it because it just says black salt, but black salt is just like charcoal, charged charcoal, salt, and like incense, ash, and a few other things. Sometimes you can put oils in it if you want it to smell better. What's my favorite sacred text? Holy Tablets by Dr. Malachi Z. York is my favorite sacred text because that shit goes into depth about everything. Yeah, it's like burning sage basically. It's just more protection. Got you. But it is also just another type of salt as well. I don't know. I was like, I took a spiritual bath. I was like, what am I going to talk about on this live? I don't know. I just don't have a conversation to talk about today. But we're just vibing here. You know how it is. No, they don't let me burn sage. I don't need sage. I have a bunch of incense, so I'm fine. And the incense isn't strong, so it's not gonna fly all the way down the hallway. So I don't have to worry about the whole sage thing. But I got other things going. I got candles and incense and all sorts of other stuff. I got the black salt, obviously. I got olive oil. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, candles work too. How can you prevent someone to have a destiny swap with you? Don't fall for their tricks. Don't stop living your life because someone's trying to do something to you. Just because someone wants to copy and mimic you doesn't mean they can be you. The only way they could even halfway do that is if you're not present yourself. So stay present. Don't let them, do things that you want to do. Let's say your destiny is to be a supermodel, but you keep not doing anything to get you in the modeling scene, right? Well, that's a form that can be, that can be said as like a form of destiny swapping because you're not actually doing what you need to do to become that supermodel or whatever, right? So don't give up on your dreams. Keep moving towards it because even though someone's competing with you, they can't bring to the table what you bring. And if that's something that you want to do and it's something that you're destined to do, it's going to happen for you. Your destiny is always going to happen. Even if it's delayed, it's going to happen for you. The golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated. That one, a lot of times when you feel negative energy from a great distance, it's because you feel it within inside yourself. You really have to understand and remember this, that everything that you feel happens because something inside of you is going on. So even though someone in telepathy and the whole thing is real, where people can like get in your head and all these things with electronics and Wi-Fi and all that stuff, like that's real. So you have to understand, like if something or someone is giving you energy from someone else, it's coming from inside. There's something inside of you that needs to be healed. There's something inside of you that you need to release or let go of. Some sort of energy attachment, some sort of feeling betrayed. It's some sort of heavy emotion, and that's why it sticks to you so much. You have to make it light. You have to make light of it. You have to see it for how it is. So don't, especially because I'll give a good example. So like, let's say you're sitting around and you just randomly start thinking about like your ex, like and everything that your ex, the whole breakup that your ex did, the words that y'all exchanged comes back into your mind when like randomly sitting. It's because there's something inside of you that's trying to heal it. Your heart will bring things to your mind that it wants to actually heal from and move on from. So you really have to see that and start moving with it. Ask yourself, why did this come up? It's well, A, it came up because it wants you to heal from it. It could also be it could also just be the test of you going back to the old past. It could be part of you that wants to go back to some form of familiarity where you're missing a type of connection that you all had before the breakup that's coming up, and you keep thinking about that individual because they were the first one to show you that sort of like connection. But just being more cautious of like why you're thinking of these things. Be more cautious of why these feelings are coming up as well, because even though energy projection is real, you have to remember that it's something inside of you that's allowing that energy to stick and stay there. So you have to be able to see like why. Is it because that something went wrong and a lot of things went wrong because of this one person, and you believe it's because they went into your life or however, or is it just because you've been told a bunch of times that it's been this one thing when it really hasn't fully been that one thing? You know what I mean? Like it's this whole thing of being brain dirtied. I'm not gonna call it brainwashed because when your brain is washed, it's clean. So no, I can't. I mean, you can email me if you want, if you're looking for a reading, but this isn't gonna be one of those reading things for that. I get that. Yeah, not everything goes well every day. Not every day is gonna be a perfect day, but you can always make the best of it. You really just have to work with what you're given. Attacks can really only get worse if you're allowing them to come in. Like, why are you still in a form of warfare if you're not wanting to be attacked? You know what I mean? Yeah, ascension can definitely feel like that because whenever you ascend, you'll want to latch on to old people, past events. You want to latch on to all these other things. because it's familiar. So then you're in this battle between you and yourself, the new you and the past you, and that's really where the majority of your spiritual warfare comes from. This is like the same energy of like, even if you're like leaving a job, it's that same spiritual warfare there where you're wanting to leave your job to go to somewhere new, but then you're battling the fear of, oh, but if I go to a new job, am I guaranteed to get it? What if the pay's not good enough? What if I don't like it? All these things. So that's the battle, spiritual battle there. Every battle that we have begins in the spirit, because you're not fighting flesh, you're fighting the spirit always. It's never anything to do with the flesh or the physical. It's the spirit. But unfortunately, because we're here in flesh and all we can see is the physical, we tend to project it out instead of actually in like keeping it in with ourselves. So whenever you do have these ascensions, it does feel like you're being attacked, because you're literally changing and battling an old version of yourself. You're battling comfortability for the unknown. And because you've grown so attached, and a lot of people grow attached to the comfortability because they want to remain comfortable in a world of uncomfortability, but you can't be fully comfortable, because being comfortable means that there's some sort of stagnancy. You're not moving forward, you're not progressing. So whenever you do get into those uncomfortable situations, it's because you're ascending. You're trying to see a better light, you're trying to see a new energy in it. Exactly. Don't feel black, feel blessed. Who are you? Oh, feel who I am. I I mean, I don't really I feel, but like I get it, but you know what I mean? Got you, Mark. No worries. But yeah, a lot of times in spiritual warfare, even because it's like, because everyone's so like worried about other people and what they're doing, because they feel like they're stopping. Like you'll think someone's stopping your life because you're so focused on them, but it's really just you stopping your own life, because you're not even focusing on what you want to do. You're focusing on other people so that you can allow yourself to move forward. It's like you're giving them permission, like, oh, if they're attacking me, then I can't do this. But you can do it. You're just deciding not to because you're allowing them to have that overpower over you. You really have to like remove yourself from that energy. I have felt something like that, Vanessa. I don't know what it is, but I have felt it. Um, Part of me wants to say it's some form of like, I guess, upgrade within like the biometric energy, the biometric field we have in us, but I'm not really too sure. But I have felt that. I know what you're talking about. I just don't know what it is. Um, I'd either have to like do meditations really deeply on it and get that, or ask someone that knows or something of that nature. But I don't, me personally, I don't know what that is. Emily, I don't gotta really answer that question. If you're wondering if I've really walked the life or not, you should ask why I'm talking the way I'm talking. Someone would not be able to talk this way and give you answers this way if they didn't walk down the path. Trust me on that. I've been doing this ever since I was 7. I've been doing this ever since I was 7. Don't even. You got the fear on you. Don't be scared. That's how it is. People get scared because they's like, oh my god, everyone's like lying to me. Yeah, because the ones that are lying to you are the ones repeating the same messages over and over again. I don't like repetition. I make change. I will lose 1,000 people for my own sake. If I gotta change, I will. I don't give a fuck. I will lose people daily. But if it's for the greater good of my own self and for the greater good of others that want to fall down that path, I'll do it. I don't care. Because I'm for the people, and if something's not working for the people, and I see the people not feeling good or not feeling happy or blessed, I'm gonna do something to change it. Because someone fucking has to, and no one else wants to. And I get it, because it's scary, because everyone's so focused on like money and shit. But at the end of the day, I'd rather know that when I leave this plane, that I at least helped a few souls, rather than making a few bucks. That's just personally me. Tell if you're in the right timeline. Are you living your dreams? If you can tell if you're in your right timeline, if you're doing things that you're enjoying, if you're doing the things that bring you joy, if you're making the plans for the things that make you joy, as long as you're putting that mental and energetic force into being in that new timeline of actually doing things, you'll be fine. Prayer isn't anything without that physical action. Meditation is the same way. Everything in life is the same way because we're on the physical. Even though we can ask for all this spiritual support to get somewhere, we need to make sure we're doing it on the physical. So if you're wanting to get to a new timeline, pray about it and then listen to your intuition. Watch out for what the divine's telling you and then move with that. Like, oh, I want to, like, I don't know. Let's just say you want to be a sailor and you want to, like, sail the seas, but you don't have a boat. Well, then you need to save up money to get a boat. Do that first. Find ways to get money for that boat. Have like a jar and put money into it. That puts you on that right timeline. Because you can manifest anything you want. The divines there fully support you, but you have to be willing to meet them halfway, which is doing that physical work. Because you can already see it, you can already imagine it and feel it, sense it already, which is part of the manifestation process. Now you have to go get it. Now it's already there. It's already been manifested. Now you just have to follow the path, and that path is the unknown. Usually, when you're confused and lost on your journey, you're going the right way because you don't know where you're at. You're in confusion. You're doing some things wrong. You're doing things right. You're growing. You're evolving. You're maturing. That's showing you that you're going on the right path. That's showing you you're doing something new. But if the fear, if the confusion comes from doing old cycles and things from the past, then you're doing things from the past and you're stuck in a loop. What's my journey? I don't need to tell you my journey. What's your journey? Why are you here? I know why. I don't need to tell you why I'm here. My actions are speaking for it. What are you doing here? Do you know yourself? Because I know myself. Like, where does it lead? I don't. It leads to glory. It leads to me being happy. At the end of the day, I don't really. That's all that really matters for me. With my journey, where is it going to lead me? It's going to take me back home. I'm going to go back home. That's where my journey's going. That's where I want to go, at least. I don't know about you, but yeah, ask me. You got questions? Ask me anything. Because I just want to go home. Personally, I just want to go home. I want to help a few other people go home if they can. Oh, I'm not shuffling any deck. I'm messing with my hoodie. Where is home? I don't know. Where's your? We don't go to the same place. Not everyone goes home. Not everyone goes home, and not everyone goes to the same place. That's the thing. And you just gotta, make sure that you're doing what you need to do so you can get there. You gotta know where your home is. You gotta know where you're from. And if you don't know where you're from, just find out what makes you happy. Home's where the heart is at the end of the day. You know how to do a spell to attract money? You can just burn a green candle and etch like money signs into it. And you can etch all these other things into it, like success and growth and finance. You can like etch that into the candle. But you got after you do that spell, you gotta do something on the physical. So like there's more to it than that. You can definitely look up a few of them. But other than that, green candle. The best money spell, honestly, is discipline. And if you're gonna do any type of money spell, just pray for discipline for money, because that's the best thing you can do. It's not the fact that people don't have money, just people don't have discipline with it and use it for the wrong things usually. Where have I been? I don't know. I've been here. How do you shift out of the loop for good? Cut it out. Cut everything in that old cycle out. Everything. The people that you hung out with, the energy, the things that you watched. You can cut the things that you ate out. Just start dropping things. Start going towards new things. If you went out of a loop, the best way to do is stop looping, Stop making that left turn. Turn a different direction. Full moons are good to start. Full moons, um, and I think waning moons are the best moons to cut things with. But those are the best ones to do things in. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Thank you. No question is too stupid. Do not let people say you have stupid questions. The only people that say that there's a stupid question is a stupid person. Because they don't want to ask the question. They don't have the bravery to ask a question. They sit there and just think that they know it. They don't know. If you're afraid of getting an I don't know or like a bad answer, that's okay too. But I ain't gonna know everything. That's the fact. I'll tell you to your face I don't know something. There's no shame in that. I just gotta do studying on it. You always gotta ask questions. That's how you get smart. For cutting cords, I call upon Archangel Michael. I can sometimes for Raphael, but mainly Michael. He got the sword. Sometimes I call for the shield for act as a buffer as well. Depends. Yeah, Michael's a good way to go for cutting cords if you're gonna do that. Uriel, pretty good for cutting cords too. I'm not gonna lie. But other than that, I usually stick with Michael. I see another question. No, I haven't found anything in the Bible yet for reincarnation. That's the thing. I'm just kind of sporadically looking at things. I'm doing studying, and then if I find it, I'll go do research about it in the Bible. So, um, you can look. I'm pretty sure Doctor. If you just go on YouTube and look up Doctor Malachi's New York tapes, they'll have one. He'll have one about reincarnation in the Bible. I'm very sure because most of the things that I know, I get from that man, and I go back and I do research within the Bible, and I translate words, and I do all sorts of things. I get the origins, I get the etymology of words, I get all sorts of things, and I find it all. So. Uh, technically, damn. Let me see if I can remember this right, because I don't want to answer that question wrong about Jesus being incarnated. I do know. Um, I don't know actually, so I can't even say that. I'd have to like re-get that. I'm gonna have to like. I'm gonna start making. I got mental notes going down for future videos and stuff to talk about. What do I think of truth? It's the truth. And that's what I think of truth. It's the right way. Why you want to know my zodiac so bad? I'm a Libra. I got you though. But yeah, it's not clear. But there, you can tell. You can definitely like tell it. You just have to really look at the words and what's being said. You actually have to read it. You can't just like scan over it or like preach it. You got to read it. And then you also got to like whenever you're reading it as well, you have to look at words because like what are they? Are they Latin words? Are they Hebrew words? Are they Arabic words? Like like you know what I mean? Because there's like three different languages in this book that they've clammed up together. So then you have to go back and not look the English definition up for an Arabic word. You got to go all the way back to Arabic and look at the definition for that and all these things. So it's a whole lot to break down. But it's it's already been broken down. But as well, whenever you break it down personally, you can learn it better. Exactly. It's different when you write it than read it and say it. Uh, Whenever you feel like lower vibrations dragging you down, um, I'm gonna have to ask for like, is there like a scenario in specific for that? Because there's a lot of ways to handle that. The best way isn't necessarily to ignore it because ignoring it can definitely make it come back a lot harder and stronger than it was there before. But definitely see like what the low vibration is and ask yourself why is this coming back? Like Don't be afraid of things. That's the only reason why things can have any sort of control over you, is by fear. So if you start knowing about it, if you start learning about it and asking it questions and breaking it down from this gigantic big monster down to smaller, it becomes a lot easier for you to handle. It becomes less scary, and it becomes something that you're able to control. Best zodiac I bond with? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't really care that much either about other people's zodiacs. I just kind of do what I gotta do. Uh, Depends on what Bible God you're talking about. There's a few of them in there. There's like a there's a few. The Elohim, there. That's more than one. Elohim is plural. So it depends on what God you're talking about when it comes to the Bible. They talk about a lot of them, and you can see. I forgot what actual chapter and verse it is, but in Genesis, where they said they made man in the image of us. That's the Elohim. Messing with Adam, taking the rib, which is the ribosome, not the actual rib, but it's a ribosome of your DNA and all that stuff. And take the ribosome out to make clones of the atoms, is why you have the Adamites. It came from Adam, ITE. Which Anunnaki will take over? I don't know. I don't know. I wish I do. Oh, I don't know about that realm. I don't really know what that question's like referring to either. About the Egyptian goddess and gods. With the starry area, I'm not really sure what that's referring to. I'll definitely have to look up the Blue Book and read about it. Depending though, because like a lot of the information that are coming from these other books have already been written about before. Um, so I'm gonna have to like trace it back to the original source for sure. But I'll take a look at it. Hmm. I don't know what I really don't have a subject to talk about today. I really thought I was gonna come on live and have like a whole conversation. I just don't. My brain is blank. Next time I'll come a little bit more prepared, but I acted off of impulse, so. I mean, most ETs that you hear of are human. Most ETs are just people. Like the angels, as you call them, angels. Those are the extraterrestrials, extraterrestrial. I don't, this is what they're talking about. So the angels are really aliens. And then you have, I think, like the 24 or 25 elders, however many of them there are. So, it goes on from that. A lot of people think that these are like mystical beings, or like they're all green and gray. No, some like they're people. They're just more advanced than us. They're melanated beings. They're melanin. What is it? I can't remember the fucking term or whatever. Some of them have melanin present. Other ones are melanin recessive. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Came through. But yeah, and then others are like outer species. You have Delirians and stuff. You have centaurs. You have the troglodytes, which are like webbed handed little short dudes. Those are where you get your little green men from, basically. You have the cone heads. You have all sorts of them. But most of them, they're just people. They're just different. You know what I mean? How does the tree of life line up with tarot? I don't know. I don't look at the tree of life like that. That's not my line of study when it comes to things like that. On earth angels, uh, I mean, I think it's a label. Personally, I just think it's a label because we're all fallen angels, and what does like an earth angel even indicate? You know what I mean? I would agree with the sense of it just being an angel on earth, but then again, that's just a fallen angel. So really, in actuality, calling someone an earth angel is just saying what they really are, which is a fallen angel, an angel that fell from heaven on earth. Because Lucifer didn't fall to hell, Lucifer fell to earth and ruled this realm of earth. And why are we here if we did not fall from grace? You know what I mean? Like, it's all these things. So you have to really look at it like that. Oh, I'm not just asking questions about tarot. I'm asking all sorts of questions. So don't limit it just to tarot. What do you mean? What do you mean if you're crazy? I don't see your question anywhere. I don't know what threads is, so I don't know. All right, you. I mean, I have all sorts of videos about the chakras and stuff. So if they need an answer for the chakra systems or whatever, you can. I have like a whole playlist on it. I mean, I wouldn't call you crazy for everyone has different experiences. I just don't know what that is because I haven't personally seen it. I mean, that's what the conscious collective would like you to think that earth angels aren't fallen, but like, how does an angel end up on earth if it didn't fall? Like, if you see how the angels are lined up, the angels are the protectors of earth. They're outside. They're like surrounding the earth, figuratively in that sense, right? So how do they get into Earth atmosphere unless they have to fall into it? So a lot of people just like using the term earth angel because it sounds sweet and they don't actually want the truth. They want to remain blind. They want it to sweeten up. They are not ready for it, which is perfectly fine. But we're all fallen angels because we fell from grace. Everyone's an angel. Lucifer is an angel. All these demons that you call demons are just angels. They just fell and they remained in the lower dimensions. They remained in the red light. They didn't fly up to the green light to evolve to the purple light to get to the white light, which is home. We fell. Some people, I mean, it's up to you. When you're here, that's why you get to decide if you're going to be banished or not. But you fell because you're here. That doesn't mean you're banished. You're just trying to get your way back there. You're trying to purify yourself and get yourself back to the stature that would allow you to go back to the kingdom of heaven, or whatever heaven you're going to, or wherever you're going to return when you leave this realm. Some people are damned to this earth forever. Some people aren't. It's just how it is. Depends on their actions, what they're doing down here, who they are at the soul level. Do you know for sure that you're placed here, or are you just assuming that? That's what I gotta ask, because you gotta know, because a lot of people, um, especially within like the tarot community and stuff, they'll just be told that they're an earth angel and they'll believe it. They won't even have any actual note of like evidence of being placed down here. I know that I was placed down here because I had certain events in my life that showed me. A lot of people don't have those events. A lot of people just believe that they are. A lot of people just use like the term like, because a lot of people think earth angels are just these nice people that get bad things to happen to them and all these other things. They don't really know what they mean by that. And as well, by the term earth angel, what category are you falling under? You know, an angel would know who their father is. A lot of people don't know who their father is. A lot of people just go, clang up with things. And I'm not trying to say that you don't know, but this is just in general for everyone who's listening, like to ask yourself these questions if you don't know who you are or not. Yeah, I get that. Some people won't actually know that they're earth angels. Some people remain blind. You have to be waking up to it. You have to see it. Some people are earth angels don't even know it. Some people aren't earth angels but claim that they are because they don't know it. You know? A lot of people just aren't awake to that fact. A lot of people aren't ready to be deeply honest with themselves and see the truth for things. They'd rather just believe one thing rather than another. So you gotta watch out for that statement. I mean, see, now that's the thing. Just because you were spoken over a prophecy in the womb, what, who did it? What prophecy was spoken over the womb? These are all questions you gotta ask because, especially when it comes to is if you're using the Bible, was the prophecy made in Jesus' name? Because if it was, I hate to break it to you, they fucked you up. You, they don't want Jesus did not want you to say anything in his name. In the Father's name, you do actions. So, if you're getting married in the name of Jesus, if you're being blessed in the name of Jesus, you're not on the right ship. You're somewhere else if you're trying to get to God, because you don't use Jesus' name for those things. You use God's name. And it's a contradiction that's shown in the Bible. But even then in the Bible, it says, many come in my name and I'll turn my head from them because they aren't following the Father. They're still following Jesus. So you got to watch out for that. So, but yeah, I mean, and again, I'm not trying to bust your bubble or nothing. I just want you to be aware because, like, a lot of people think that things are going one way and they don't even know. A lot of times, the preachers and stuff, they ain't even know what they're talking about. A lot of preachers don't actually know what they're talking about, unfortunately, because they teach Paul's teachings in the Bible rather than actual God's teachings. They don't follow the actual disciples at all. They follow Paul. And Paul wrote, like, many books. And then Paul changed his name twice in the Bible to cover up his identity of who he was. And then he even said, I forgot where. I have to like go back and look. But he said in the Bible that he didn't even like he just thought he could write the book because he knew things too. So it's all up in there. You got to be careful with this stuff because people don't realize it when it comes down to things. How do you find out who your father is? You just gotta figure. You gotta study. You have to find out who are you actually wanting to praise. You have to find out that first. Who are you wanting to go back to? Who are you actually willing and wanting to have a connection with? And then follow those steps. It's in the Bible, it's in the Quran, it's in the Torah, it's in all sorts of other scripts, but you first have to know who you actually want to be with. Who do you actually want to be in the bosom of? I mean, anyone can be a target. You don't gotta be an earth angel to be a target. Anyone can be a target, and anyone can be a target for anything. Just because you're identifying yourself with a label doesn't mean anything. That's what you got to watch out for. That's the whole ego attachment to where now you're in this victim state because now that you agree with these titles, you feel like you're being attacked because of those titles. You got to watch out for that. I don't know what you're asking for the question about your guides. Could you like reframe that? Rephrase that, I mean? The hierophant, there's some form of rules that you're trying to get. When you get the hierophant, it's about ruling. It's about connecting the two keys. Hold up, let me show y'all. Let me get this out. Let me get this out. There you are. The hierophant. You're looking to connect the two consciousness, the two sides of you. Even though they're both masculines, they're both students, they're looking up to the head figure. There's some sort of higher ruling, some sort of higher power that you're needing to get. I forgot what that staff is called. If someone could put that in chat if you know what that staff's called. Looking up the definition for that and the symbolism with that staff as well. But the hierophant is all about higher power. Hierophant. Are you sure it's your guides? Because a lot of people, I mean, you know, if you're going to be claimed to be Wonder Woman or claimed to be a deity or a god, you're going to have to answer the questions that they know. So if you don't know for sure that you are not something because you don't have the ancestral wisdom of them, you're most likely not them. And they're most likely just trying to connect with you. Oh, I already have I have two videos about my life story, my life challenges and stuff. If you want to go check them out, they're on the channel. So, and I also did an interview, um, and you can find that on the community page. I posted it there, and I talked a bit about my life on that one too. A lot of people are going to claim that the vessel of Solomon and things of that nature. You got to ask them questions that they would know. Ask them the six truths of how to trap a. How ask them the six truths to trap a demon. That's what you're gonna ask them. Ask them the symbol to actually trap a demon. If they believe they're Solomon, they know that shit. If they don't know it, they're not it. Then they're just popping shit out their ass. Simple as. Those are two solid questions for you to ask any. If they think, if someone feels like they are, I don't know. I just gotta keep it real like that. If someone feels like they're a goddess or a god, ask them the questions that that goddess or god would know. If they don't know it, then they're not them. Simple as. Basically just go into meditation. If you really want a solid answer, you gotta go into deep meditation. Oh, and hold on. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Stigmata. No, seriously, exactly. Solomon would be controlling those things with the seals, but with stigmata and the exorcisms, depends. Honestly, sometimes people will mistake stigmatas for just birthmarks. Other times they're actual marks that you pay attention to, but you got to pay attention to that. You got to know the difference between a stigmata and an actual birthmark. But then again, since you said like you have who is it? Your father performed exorcisms and stuff, so that he would know definitely between a stigmata and not. Oh. Doing studies on exorcism would really help you figure out the stigmata and stuff of that nature. Me personally, I don't know too much about it. I know enough about it to know that like what they are, but for me to decipher between a stigmata and a birthmark, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Uh, I don't think we're at the end of the world as we know it. I wouldn't say we're at the end times as like the world's gonna explode or anything, but we're definitely at the end of the world as we know it. There are going to be various events happening this year, next year that are going to make that very present and very known. But other than that, we're not like about to die or anything. We're just ending the world as we know it, like the 80-year cycle. Um, that happens between every sort of like big war or disasters coming up. So I mean, it already is because this is the 2025 is the 80th year in between that. Some people feel it, some people don't. Depends on the person with the stigmata. Do angels fight demons? Yeah, they're at war. They're always at war. They're doing something. Well, on Earth, y'all gotta quit. Y'all gotta stop using the term Earth Angel because that got me confused. Now talking about Earth demons. We're on Earth. We don't need to talk about the defining where we're at. We are on Earth. There's no need to define it as Earth angels and Earth demons. We on Earth. So don't define it as that. It just makes it confusing. But yeah, they fight. It's the same thing as the war that we're in. The fight the demons inside of you externally. However, they're always at war. There's always a war going on. And besides angels and demons, there's really no difference between demon meaning moon, the moon, and then angels. So you can break down the words and find out angels are just angles or angels. I think it's Angles or Anglese. I can't remember the exact pronunciation. But angels and demons are really the same thing. They are just it is just like a different vibration that they have to talib in because apparently we like to separate things and make up a shit ton of labels down here to confuse everyone. That statement doesn't really make much sense why the good has more power than the bad. If the good had more power than the bad, then why are so many people stuck within negative energies? It has nothing to do about which side has more power when it comes down to it, because the bad doesn't have. Well, if you're gonna say the bad and the good, we need to like separate what's going on with that. How are we defining bad and how are we defining good? But in like simple terms, the the devil can't do nothing without God's permission. The devil has to go ask to do anything, and then it happens because you get an answer yes or no, all those things. So like when you say the bad doesn't have any power over the good, if that's so true, then why is the bad here? All these things need to be looked at in that type of way because those statements, even though they sound good, logically they don't make sense because if the bad had no power, if the bad was weaker than the good, then why are we at war with them? Why would there be a whole war if they didn't have any power? We wouldn't need to fight something that doesn't have power. You get what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense. Uh, Sometimes that's how twin flames are. Twin flames are really just you fighting your own self, because it's really just you. When you meet a twin flame, of like a twin fragment of your own soul, of your own fire, right? Your fire is your soul, sun, fire. It's just you fighting the opposite version of yourself. It's just you seeing if you want to go forward or stay back. You know what I mean? So it's kind of you fighting a demon, but it's not necessarily an external demon. It's just really you. It's a mirror of you. Uh, what aligned with the higher resonance and frequencies? What are we talking about with that? What are we talking about with that? I gotta like uncross my legs. My legs about to explode. Yeah. What energetically though? Unless that's not a question. Let me scroll up and see. Yeah, those terms are overplayed. There's a lot of terms that the conscious community will use, or that's just like it's like base level when you jump into spirituality. Like there's so many terms you're thrown at, but they like these people don't even break them down to figure out what they actually mean and what they're trying to say. And a lot of people, it's like it's bizarre. It really is bizarre to see a lot of people say work like there are so many things like people talking about God sent you this message. Which God sent you that message? You just can't say God. Not everyone worships like it's this whole thing. You got to really like delve down into it. Like everyone wants to act. Everyone really wants to act like we know what we're talking about. We don't. That's why I'm asking like what do you mean? Like I don't know what you mean. I don't have the same mind frame as everyone else. So whenever I see something, I'm gonna see it my way. People don't like being specific. People like I don't we don't need to be specific. We know what we're talking about. Barely. That's why confusion and arguments happen because no one knows what anyone's saying. It's bizarre, but no one like wants to focus on that point because it's like, oh, but we're all connected. Yeah, we are. Yeah. So then you also know that I'm confused. I don't know what you're talking about because you are asking me a question that you don't even know what you're talking about. So we're trying to get the answers. So it's these specifics, right? It's important. It's like when people say they're coming at us. Who is they? I don't know who they is. I have never met they. And then people want to say the government. It's like, okay, well that's been here for a minute and all these other things, but there it's bigger than that. But people like we're not a lot of people here aren't at that level yet. A lot of people aren't at that higher level of seeing things in like a deeper energy. And it's just like we gotta I don't know. If we're spiritual, then why are you not talking with spirit? Why are you trying to, like come on. Like understand that the spirit of confusion is one of the first spirits that come out your mouth whenever you speak because if someone doesn't understand you, that's what they're gonna feel is confusion. Anger, like why'd you say that? Then they get mad. All these things, you gotta be careful. Yeah, I try and keep this zone cleaned up a lot. Like hold on, what do you say? The planetary alignment of the 25th, that's talked about. I forgot where it's talked about in Revelations. I forgot where, but that's just a signifier of new earth, of like a new earth being formed. That's like your new heaven alignment, basically. That's happening. No, yeah, the most high is different. Because here's the thing. Let's say you know like you're buddy with God, right? Let's say that you have God's actual phone number and you call him like, "Hey God, what's up?" And you talk to the Christian God. We'll say that, right? We'll say that for like simplicity's sake. We're just going simple with this. that God's no longer the Most High. Let's say you're talking to Ra, for instance, and you got Ra's phone number. Yo, what's up, Ra? I love you. What's up? They're no longer the Most High because you're equal. There's someone higher than Ra that you just don't know of, that you both look up to, though. So where are you? Who's the Most High after that? You got to ask yourself these things. People say the Most High. It's like, what do you mean the Most High? Where are you at vibrationally? Where are you at level? Like, where are you at? Like, your Most High could be lower than my Most High because of just of how logic is. Just because I know more and or less than you, and it changes everything. Like, you got to understand this. But it's just people don't look at it like that. People are like, "Oh, it's the Most High." Okay, well, we're all on different levels. We have to understand this, and it's like the terms they sound good, they're really sweet, but they're just causing confusion. And like now, people are like, "Oh, well, God's not helping me." Yeah, because which God are you talking about? And you can't say the Most High because there's a lot of them. They're all, I mean, they're above us. They're at a higher frequency than us. They're not physical. They're not on this physical plane here. So they're obviously at a higher vibration. So they're already higher. So like, who? We gotta break it down. You got to break it down. And a lot of people like with the whole saying with like the every the more people on the same page, the greater the influence. A lot of people in this scene are on the same page of not really knowing who the Most High is. They just listen. They are looking for like a preacher. They're looking for a religious like gateway of like, oh, well, this person says that they praise God and that they're getting their blessings. That person could be like this person could be the exact opposite vibration of what you want to praise, but because they're so diligent and so straightforward and so praiseworthy to that one entity, they're getting blessed by it. And then you're wondering why you're not getting blessed by it because you're on the opposite side of things. It's this whole thing. People don't look at it like that, though. They would like to ignore that part. But this is a spiritual world. Check your spirits, test them. How do you know if someone's actually talking about the God or the ruling high force energy that you're vibrationally wanting to get to? That's why some people's vibrations get sucked down lower when they're around people because y'all's ideas don't match up. Y'all's life forms don't match up. You're in the wrong tribe. You're trying to fit in somewhere where you feel outcasted because you're not supposed to be there. So you have to understand that, really start going on your own journey. That's the whole part of it. You walk with people. You don't join in and like become a follower of someone. You walk the same path they are. If your path is not aligned with theirs, you split away. No harm done, no arguments, no I hate you. Just, you know what, this ain't my path no more. I'm going somewhere else. That's all you gotta do. Just walk with people, see where they're going. If you don't like where they're going, go somewhere else. It's how it is. You just like walk. It's the journey. You gotta walk. You have to. Look around, look at the scenery, take things in. You cannot be a follower. You follow someone and someone steps in shit, you're gonna step in shit too because you're following them and you trust them. If you're walking with them, you'd be like, hey, there's a pile of shit in front of you, and then you help them out. They, you know how it is. I'm gonna burn more incense. I have 100 sticks. I can just burn these all damn day. I probably could. I keep the window open 24/7, so it's not too bad. I just like having something burning. I just like incense. I like sage. I like doing it. Sometimes I don't even need to do it as much as I do. It's just fun. I'm a little bit of a pyromaniac. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, I like burning stuff, but I don't like burning like you know what I mean. Like I've moved on from like burning weird stuff. I've burned incense. I've burned candles. I've burned like whatever, sage and whatnot. Palo Santo. If I had Palo Santo, you'd best believe I'd have Palo Santo lined up all over the place. But yeah. Oh man. Palo Santo is like the best. I prefer it over sage, but whenever I don't have it and I have to use sage, I'll use it. Depends on what candle and what incense you're burning. If for cleansing the crown, if you're burning a white or purple one, it can help the crown. If you're burning lavender, um, or like any other purple herb, basically, that can help the crown. It depends on what you're burning. Like green candles can be burned for the heart chakra because they're green and they align with the same color vibrationally. You know what I mean? You gotta look at the color and what it's correlating to. Some people say that the crown is white. Some people say the crown is purple. I personally say the crown is iridescent because it's the most, but it's whatever. A lot of people, you know what I mean? Because it's this weird debate between the third eye is purple or violet. Like, okay, but like why? Like, why do you all confuse yourself like that? Like, just pick one. It can be anything. It can be whatever you want as long as it resonates with you. But there are energetically aligned things. Like you have to go back to the origins of it. I just say that the crown is white instead of purple because in Sekhem, the Egyptian in the Arat system. Thank you, the Arat system, which is the Egyptian chakras. The Arat is chakra. They say the white is crown, and I've always seen when I'm doing meditations on the crown. I've always imagined it as it being just an iridescent light because it's, you know what I mean. It's literally channeling all messages. It's getting all the energy and everything together is the rainbow. I appreciate the support on the trauma videos. I've been wanting to do those for a while, so I'm glad that like people are liking them. It's definitely interesting to see the switch of it. But at the end of the day, it's what I would prefer to do majority of the time. I just like I don't know, because people are looking for answers and stuff, and it's like you can't really get answers the way that you're wanting to with the whole YouTube thing, and then you have all sorts of other things. You have all sorts of issues going on about the Indian grounds. Uh, I mean, it's possible to be attacked by any spirit. If you're not respecting any ground, I mean, you're messing at that point, depending on what you're trying to identify as. Because whenever people talk about grounds in nature, I go to the Orishas. I don't really think much on the Indian side of things. Of course, that's a whole thing on its own, but like it depends on if you're respecting the grounds or not. You can be attacked by any spirit regardless. It depends on how that spirit is and how you're interacting with it. So yeah, like disrespecting of grounds can definitely be a thing, but at the same time as well, what are you referring to as the Indians as well? What about pyramids? Planet starters? What's that? I don't know what that is. I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, go on, detail it because I need details. Always ask a question with details. You don't always assume that someone knows everything. You gotta ask out. The only reason a lot of people are even digging up stuff in the pyramids is because they're trying to find proof of their existence before. It's like a race war thing where these people are trying to find evidence of like their existence before the Egyptians, before the Kemetes, before the Sumerians, and they're not finding much evidence on it because they haven't explored the Caucasus Mountains as much yet. But whenever they do, they'll figure it out. Put a dream catcher above your bed if you're having bad dreams about burial ground stuff. And as well, ask your guides and ask the spirits around you what you need to do to show more respect to them. Because if you're not respecting their grounds, and or claiming it, they can definitely have an effect on you and your dream state and all that stuff. So definitely like try to incorporate. You can also go to the native courts, like in the spiritual sense, and ask what you need to do in that sense as well. But definitely like see what you need to do, because if they're moving things around, they're definitely trying to have contact with you. If they're disrupting you and causing like anxiety and stress, and they're definitely trying to like get like you out or try to show you more, get you to show more respect. Yeah, the pyramids are lined up with the Orion's belt. Orion's belt is known as the Egyptian like graveyard. That's heaven. Orion is heaven. Like that's what they're talking about in the Bible and all sorts. Orion, that's heaven. If you're wanting to know where it's at. So yeah, the pyramids are lined up with heaven energetically. They were not only taking energy from the heavens, but they're also sending energies up to the heavens. That was their main line of communication. Do I get massages? Sometimes. I haven't had one in forever, but they definitely do help. Sirius B. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Because there's different beings on Sirius A and Sirius B. And I'm pretty, if I remember off bat, there were Arcturians on Sirius A due to a war that was happening between Sirius A. God, was it Sirius A and Basilgeuse or something? I can't remember the war off the top of my head. Go to the Young Elder, and he explains all that stuff like down pat. So if you're looking for information on that stuff, go to the Young Elder on YouTube. He has playlist upon playlist upon playlist going depth into this stuff. So if you're looking for those type of interests, that's the place to go for that for sure. I appreciate it. Yeah, you can donate money. In the description, I have my Cash App, PayPal, and stuff of that nature. Someone could like paste that. I could definitely pin it. But there's that, or you can donate to the YouTube thing, however. But I appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If I don't know the answer to it, I might know where to point you to it. I'm learning just like everyone else. You know what I mean? I'm not a master teacher at anything. I'm not even a master teacher at how we digest emotions. I'm still learning that day to day because I still struggle with emotional repercussions for some things. It's just how it is. Until I learn how to get that fully done, I am not a master to it. Trust me on that. What's happening in 2030? That basically the end of the world as we know it. So everything as life is now is going to be different. Do I know if it's going to be good or bad? No, it's just going to be different. Look up the Seven Thunders prophecy, and and you can read up about that. I'm gonna have to do a video on this seven thunders prophecy. How's TikTok? I don't know. I haven't been on there in a minute. I don't pay that much attention to it. I need to, but like I just don't. I've just been doing so many things at once that like I don't know. YouTube has just been like a main focus, but I definitely need to like focus on TikTok a little bit more. To figure out like, oh hold on, you said something else too. Your perfect expression. Focus on your heart. What brings you the most joy? What brings you the most love? What brings you the most happiness? What raises? What brings you to the vibration that's already highest that's built into you? Like what makes you happy? That's the best way to figure out what you need to do with life. It doesn't matter like how big or small you think it is. Some people think that their emotions are supposed to be really huge and spectacular when it's really just running a corner store, and it like that makes them happy. You know what I mean? It's like whatever makes you feel the happiest, whatever brings you the most joy. It doesn't have to be about traveling or money or any of those things. Just whatever brings you the most happiness is really how you need to operate within the body. That's the best way to do it for anything. No, Jesus, Egyptians do not worship Jesus. They worship Ra. That's why it's called the Rising, the rising, and the sun sets, which is set. So, how are the people of God's connected? Look up the tribes. What is it? 12 tribes? I think they're 12 tribes. Look up the tribes. They're in the Bible, in Genesis. That's how they're connected. I'm just gonna assume that you meant the biblical God. I'm not really sure, like again, like what you're meaning by God. But I'm gonna assume it's the biblical God in that sense. How do I stay strong? I just know it's what I'm supposed to do. I just personally, I wanted to do this. Whenever I made a change, on this channel, like for me personally, it's because I wanted to do it. I don't really care if anyone likes the change or not. And by care, I mean I don't. It's not going to affect me if people like it or not. I'm doing what I am being told to do. I'm doing what I feel like I need to be doing. That brings me the most joy. That brings me the most love. That brings me the most happiness. Despite the ramifications that it might bring, I simply just don't let that bother me. People or might not like it. People might let their ass hang out like a baboon and say some things, whatever they want to do. But that's not up for me to control. The best advice for other people who are struggling with that: just do what you want. Do what you truly desire to do. Who cares if someone's not going to like it? They don't like it? Cool. They didn't like you in the first place. They were just waiting for a reason for you to leave. The only reason they were there is because they were in a codependent situation where they were gaining something from you, and you were gaining something from them. You know, it wasn't an equal thing at that point, because you weren't actually, you know, as long if you're not enjoying it, it's not an equal give and take no matter what. So if you're wanting to change up something or change up how you're speaking or something, or change up your channel, your platform, do it because you desire to. Don't do it because it's going to bring in more of something on the physical. Make sure that you're filling yourself up spiritually so that you can gain things on the physical much faster. But yeah, I really just don't care about like how people feel. I've had people like tell me that this is the worst change. Like someone said that this stuff was stupid and like that they were gonna have like a better journey somewhere else. I don't give a fuck. You go have a better journey somewhere. More power to you. But don't come at me acting like I'm the problem, because I'm just over here living my life. You know what I mean? don't let weirdos do that, because they'll people will come up to you and like, well, if you're doing this, I'm gonna go over here. It's gonna be so much better. I bet it is. I bet it is. Go have fun by yourself. Go. I have like more power to you. Blessings and love. I don't care about what you're trying to do energetically though. You're just trying to get me to feel weird about it, and that's cool. But I don't play those games. I mean, it's just how it is. Even when I was doing tarot, I was dealing with BS. People just don't like change. People want things to be done in their exact way, which is unfortunate because we live in a world, and even though the world revolves around you, you have to understand that you're not the only one here, and there's other people that have their own gravitational pull as well. So, like, it's okay to let people go. I'm actually making a video. I'm still making notes on it of how it's about like how to leave certain collectives or how to join back to some and all that, like getting comfortable with leaving old patterns, old collectives away and jumping into new ones so you can walk with them. Because it can definitely be a challenge, but I'm working on a video for that. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do is help people evolve. If I don't have problems with no one, but if you're gonna come over to my channel and act like what I'm doing is wrong, you're an op. At that point, you're trying to fight me. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're the problem to what I'm doing, and all I'm doing is raising the vibration. So, if I'm raising the bar and you can't reach it, I that ain't my problem. Walk with this. You'll learn how to get there eventually. It's rough, but we all start somewhere. Yeah, I know I need to buy land. That's the whole thing. We working on it. Until we buy land, this is what we're gonna do then. You know what I mean? We don't need land to pop up on YouTube and start talking about this stuff. We don't need to get that first. You know, we doing this first. We get in the community first. Eventually, we'll get the land. That's the goal. That's the plan. But until then, it's just we just here. We just here talking. We're just here educating, making sure that when we do have that land, that we all going to be on a certain frequency where we're going to understand and be able to help out other people more. That's all it is at the end of the day. I don't know who Starlight was talking to, but that was good luck with that one. Have fun. I don't know what you heard or like how you digested the information I just spit out, but I didn't say nothing about anything like that. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire, y'all. I don't even know if that was directed towards anyone in chat or not, but don't be don't be bringing no weird vibes into this shit. We're just trying to have fun. We're just talking. Ain't no one saying nothing. If you're gonna assume and make an ass out of me, you're making a bigger ass out of you, baby. Don't worry. Just keep swimming. You'll make it eventually. It's fine. People just don't know, man. We busting demons. I don't care. We do this every day. Love and light though, cause it's just how it be. I really don't know what else to talk about. Damn. It is so funny because like I'm just watching this candle and every time it's just black smoke just starts puffing off of it, and I just think it's the funniest shit because nothing gonna happen with it. Yeah, if you're wanting, I do channelings and reading. I do a whole bunch of stuff. Honestly, I can't be boxed in. I don't want to be boxed in. If you're wanting a personal reading, you can email me. At some point, I don't know when, because it's not like a main focus right now. We'll do a reading at some point in the future. Um, and I usually do those readings on live anyway, so but regardless, right now my main focus is just teaching, asking questions, getting people on like the like a higher frequency of just questioning things, looking at things, doing teachings, healings and stuff, sending people to the right places, basically. What's my go-to deck? The Radiant White. I love it. It's like, I don't know. I've used it. It's very addicting. Not addicting, but it's like the fact that it has the symbology on it. The fact that it was made with an actual purpose and not just because it looks cute or because they needed something to fill in. Everything in this deck was drew specifically for a meaning. And I'm still figuring it out. I have to ask someone because I know they have the answer to it. But there is, because all these were painted, and he knows the full key of every card, how they lay out. And they tell a whole story. Of course they do. It's a whole book, right? But every photo aligns with itself. That's why some backgrounds look the same. It's a puzzle piece you put together. And there's an exact order of how all the cards, minor and major arcana, how they go together. Um, that I really want to see because we've talked about it, but I haven't like actually seen it yet. So I'm gonna have to ask him next time we communicate. I communicate with the guy about that. I need a lot of decks. At this point, I feel like I just want to collect them. But I don't want to like say that either, because like I have a lot of decks as it is. Like all the decks that I have aren't even out on this table yet, but I have like the majority of them. If anything, I want to make my own. It's still like I'm still stuck on on the energy of making my own, and eventually I will. At some, I don't know when. I don't know when. I don't know when. But the decks that I've made these two, I'm eventually at some point gonna make them a thing. The only thing stopping me, money. Do I really care about that at this point? Not right now, because I want to like refine these things before I actually start jumping into it. So there's a lot behind that scene that goes there, but I'm looking definitely into like selling my own decks within that part, focusing more on like symbology and things of that nature. But when will that happen? I don't know. I'll keep you updated. Oh man, I've had these decks. I've had these decks before ICAV. I've been making my own little things before the whole ICAV tarot. Definitely, the ICAV tarot is beautiful. Like I love Kev. Kev is such a sweet person. But yeah, definitely for sure. I'm gonna like need to get that because I've had people ask me about it before, but it's like I just haven't put like a foot through the door yet. And if you need a reading, you can email me. It's in the description. You can email me and I'll get you set up away. I'll get you that reading. And I do my readings differently from a lot of people. Those that have gotten readings from me know that my readings are not like the other personal readings you get. They are toned to you and they put you on a different path. Like I make sure I put you on a certain path to help you get out. That's all that's what I want to do is help people heal from things and actually be able to remove energy from them. I don't want them just thinking that they're miraculously just being saved because yeah, that happens, but you got to also do some stuff to get you out of that too. But I got you. I do my best. Like I don't know, man. I just see people lost and needing healed. I don't know. I mean, there could be a million reasons why. I could delve through it, but like I genuinely care when it comes down to like helping people when it comes down to readings. No one really asked for the healing series. That's just been something I've had in my mind for like a year. Like I want to like talk about them. And I tried branching out in the past with it, but I was too scared. So I had to do some shadow work and build up my backbone so I could get to the point where I am now. So we got to do it. I mean, shit, just like day to day life, you have to do that shadow work. You have to work with stuff. You have to like get yourself to be prepared for certain things. We need it. We're already lost. We gotta get more lost than we are. We gotta remember that at the end of the day, when we're lost, you're the only one that needs to be finding something. Because you are the light. You're the one seeing everything around you. You are the light. You're in the darkness. You're just waiting for the divine. You're waiting for God, the Most High, whomever that is for you, to show you the path. Not to show you the path necessarily, but to allow the unknown to speak to you. To allow the unknown, the darkness, to make appear what you're desiring, or close to it at least. Wait, my phone about to die. I don't know what else to talk about. If anyone else has any questions, ask now or forever hold your peace until next time we pop up. But I got y'all. You feel like you manifest, but you're naive to how. Manifestation is making anything, it's manifestation. So whatever you're wanting to create, whatever you're desiring to do, you manifest. You manifest lack in your life by not taking action. You manifest lack in your life by taking the wrong actions. It's all about what you're wanting. So when it comes down to manifestation, if you're wanting to manifest someone to come into your life, someone new to come into your life, that requires you to put yourself out there. That like requires you to go out, start seeing people. If you're wanting to manifest friends, or like a reunion with someone, you have to reach out or be open whenever they reach in. You know, you can pray about it and then take the steps to get to that place. You know, sometimes people will come back on their own, sometimes they won't. It depends on that person as well. If you're manifesting someone in, you have to make sure that you're not obsessing with them as well. Like there's a whole thing where you have to like learn the law of detachment, because you manifest every day. You manifest every day. When you wake up and you say today's going to be an awful day, it might be good until one random event happens and then be awful. You know, vice versa. But you manifest 24/7. You just have to realize that everything you're saying and doing is manifesting for your future. Because what you're doing is you're trying to get to the future. You're trying to manifest in the future, but you need to be manifesting now. So once you get the goal in the future, what can you do now to get there? The manifestation's already there. You've already said you want it. Now you take action to it. Now you have to start putting one foot for the other and walking down that path. I mean, yeah, everyone's thoughts are being broadcasted to everyone else. Like, that's just how it is. Everyone's thoughts are being projected out, and you're always picking up on people's thoughts. People are always picking up on your thoughts. Wi-Fi can literally read your mind. That's why whenever you're on your phone, you're thinking about something, it pops up on your phone, because it's how it is. We're all energetically connected. So, I need to know more about it because it depends on who you are, what you're doing, and what's going on with that. Um, but yeah, I need more information on that. Want to be down for that type of thing for financial aid for this, for the goals and stuff for the future? Yeah, for sure. But I need to know what's going on with that as well. Uh, I don't know exactly what you mean by that. By the music concert, I'm not too sure. Because like the biggest thing to break off of you is dogma, not feeling like you're unable to do things because it doesn't make you happy. Don't compare yourself to someone else. If that's what your like the main thing is, and you're like, oh, but someone else isn't doing these things, and someone thinks that that's not, something that I should be doing, and that makes you not want to do it. Check yourself on that, because you should be doing what makes you happy in life. Not everyone's on the same path. Don't try to walk down someone's path if it's not for you. You walk with them. You don't follow them. Okay. But that, like, that's something you have to look at as well. Like, if you desire to go to like music concerts and stuff, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're feeling bad about it because someone else's opinion on it is like negative or whatever, then don't do it. In that sense. I don't have a dog. Oh, you're not talking to me. Any question, any type of question you got, if I can't answer it, I'll let you know. I'll send you the right way. I got you. No worries, no worries. I'm gonna light that for fun. I don't even need it. I still have one light lit up. Oh nah, I don't. I'm in a hotel. I don't have. I don't have the resources to take care of a dog. So I don't even. That wouldn't be the. That's not even the thing on the list right now. Spirit always has something for you, but you have to be open to hear it. I don't really know if Spirit does or not because I don't know you, or like what you're really asking. But having a toxic family, if the family's toxic and and you can't handle it, you can leave. You're not obligated to be with family. If you can have a healthy conversation and express to them the way that you feel and the way that they're making you feel, um, then do so. But if they're unable to do that, then just separate yourself from it because you're only going to hurt yourself staying in those environments that are hurtful and harmful to you than, just leaving them altogether. And that doesn't mean you can't come back at a later date either, but do what's best for you at all times and all ways. How do you deal with karma? Well, karma is just the action of your actions. It's the reaction of your actions, really. So when you have to deal with karma, just learn the lesson from it. When you deal with it, so like a karma for um shit. Like let's see here. Like let's say you overspend a lot, and your karma is now you don't have money. Like that would be your karma is a lack of money. Just understand that you're spending too much money on things. When you are in like what people call a karmic relationship, which is just a relationship that's teaching you a lesson. Learn that lesson. See what that lesson is trying to teach you. You don't like that individual energy anymore because they're not paying attention to you or they're making fun of you or they're belittling you. Then just leave that energy. That's the lesson you're needing to learn. All karma is trying to show you like, hey, there's something that you're missing here. There's a lesson that you need to learn. Your actions are causing another action that's making you feel a certain way. How is it making you feel? Work through that, understand that, and then choose the path after that. Yeah, I understand that completely when it comes to like a passing over loved one and all that stuff. Um, it can definitely be an issue. Prayers to you, sending love and light to you. Um, but definitely if because all that's a lot of emotional baggage to deal with anyway. And if the family isn't going to be supportive, it's best just to stay away from that because you'll always feel like you're not doing enough when you're around that energy. They'll always have like a reason to push you back down or push you into an area that you're not wanting to be. Yeah, and inaction's your action. And inaction is still an action. It's an action that's internal. It's in. So, yeah, inactions are both the same. Your action not to do something is still an action because you're choosing not to do something. You're bottling in and you're keeping it in. But I got you. Um, That being said, oh yeah, I like D&D. I haven't done D&D in a while, but I like role playing games for sure. I haven't played many recently, but definitely like I mean Skyrim obviously, but like I barely even play that. Like zombie games, stuff like that. Uh the only game like the only role playing game I really could say I enjoy playing where no matter what is the Monster Hunter series. I just enjoy Monster Hunter way too much. Like that shit is so fun. And they have Monster Hunter Wilds coming out in February that I'm not gonna be able to play, which makes me a little upset. But I'll be fine. Like it's whatever. I don't have anything that can run it, so I'll just sit back and watch other people play it. Because at the end of the day, I'll play whenever I get to it. um, but yeah, other than that, the only other game I like playing is Pathologic. I don't really play that many games now that I'm thinking about it. I used to, but like recently, I don't know. I work more on music than play games. I have, speaking of music, I have a meditation thing coming out in the works. So get ready for that. That one's gonna be fun. What is inaction? What does that turn into? I think I know what you're asking, but could you ask that question a little bit differently? Because inaction, the definition of it is the of not doing something. It's the lack of action. But with the word inaction, something's in action. So that means it's going from potential to kinetic energy in that sense. It would be internalized still until it's actually put out into actual action, which would be kinetic energy. Yeah, if negative, that means it's staying in. Negative energy takes. So when you're in action, you're taking in. You're not taking anything out. You're not putting anything out. So you're taking responsibility, or your response isn't. You're not unable to respond to things in a certain way. Uh, Personally, I don't know. I'd have to go look more into Dharma. I haven't looked too much into Hinduism that much or Buddhism. So I'm gonna need to look into those for sure. All has been well. All has been wonderfully well. I cannot complain. Honestly, I cannot complain at all. Everything is possible in due time. Everything is. We have eternity. Eternity is always forever and lasting. It never started. It's never going to end. Frequencies. Frequencies. It's going to be a guided meditation. Um, but yeah, I don't. That should be out within a few days. I just have to like stick down and work on it. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna end it here. I don't really know what else to ask. I feel like all the questions are. If anyone else has any questions, ask really quickly or hold your peace until next time. We'll definitely do this tomorrow. I want to do this again tomorrow. I don't know if I want to do it around the same time or earlier. We'll see what happens. Um, but yeah, regardless, thank you all for being here and asking your questions, for sticking around. I love y'all so much. Um, Everything's in the description. The Malachi Z York books, the contact information for me, all sorts of stuff. If you have any other questions, be sure to just email me. I'll answer them in the best of my ability. If I can't, I'll just send you links to things of where to go. Regardless, though, I love each and every one of y'all to the moon and back tenfold and forever, and I will see y'all later.